What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. What's up, Latoya? What's up, Camlish? What's up, Brandon? Alright, we'll give him another minute, y'all, and we'll get started. How about that? Alright, let us begin. Yeah, come in when they come in. let's get started. Now, you know, we've been hearing a lot about these generational curses and magical curses and all other shit that was that we in traumas and blockages and shit that we had to deal with when we came here. They pretty much set us up for the most part. They tried to sabotage the Great Awakening to the best of their abilities, you know. But it's still happening anyway. But let's talk about how the Starseeds survived through this shit. We ain't just talking about like 20, 30-year-old Starseeds. We talking about 50, 60, 70-year-old Starseeds still around here up and kicking due to I've been good, Brain. How about yourself? What's up, Javon? Yeah, due to all this crazy shit that they had to deal with, how have they been surviving these generational curses? How have they been dealing with this shit? Cause you gotta respect the elders 50 that's 50 plus. They been here for a while, especially if they been conscious for 20, 30, 40 years. You really gotta respect them, cause they been wanting to see this system fall, and they had to wait 40 to 50, 60 years to see it. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Star? So this is what you got going on here. So these generational curses, let's talk about them. We call it Starseed sickness. What is this? What is all this shit that's going on? Well, generational curses is all the stored up traumas, blockages, pain, misery, and suffering that has been locked and trapped inside your DNA. You see what I'm saying? For generations. You see what I'm saying? Of your bloodline. Toxic blood. You see what I'm saying? Bad blood, as they call it. You see what I'm saying? That's what they mean by bad blood. They're talking about them generational curses that's already inside your family. The diabetes, all this other crazy shit that's going on. You see what I'm saying? So, how does Starseed surviving through this shit? Well, they're surviving through it due to the life energies. You see what I'm saying? Their life energies in their body is what's keeping them fucking alive. You see what I'm saying? Their source energy inside of you. What's up, Blake? That source energy inside of you is what's maintaining you. You see what I'm saying? Through all this crazy shit that's happening on the planet. I'm talking about it's getting crazy and crazy. These niggas, they got even more diabolical in their dealings and workings. They just shut down fucking the Congress, right? So now they shutting down the government and systems, and they going underground. Now their clones are going up underground. How about that? Shit, they done with the Clone Wars here. The clones going up underground too. So even the clones have been ordered to fucking go up underground now. Where they'll go, once they go up underground, they'll probably take them out or shut them down for when they need them again. You see what I'm saying? So, these generational curses what's really been kicking our asses, for real. How do we stop or shut down these star children? We can't reach them all. So what do we gotta do? We gotta fuck their parents up. We gotta fuck up their minds. We gotta fuck up their hearts. We gotta drag them through the earth. And they'll pass that pain and suffering and misery down to the next generation. And they'll pass that pain, suffering, and misery down to the next generation. It only takes 4 generations to lock in those particular toxic energies. You see what I'm saying? It only takes 4. We've been dealing with it for about, for about 300,000 years. This shit has started. The dissension started about 300. It's been about 300,000 years since the dissension started. So, but it's really been bad for the last 6,000 years. We know it's been fucked up ever since goddamn the fall of ancient Egypt. It's really been bad since then. You see what I'm saying? So if we're gonna just focus on the last 6,000 years. The last 6,000 years have seen the fall of a whole ancient global empire that span from the Americas all the way to the Asias, the Asian realm. You see what I'm saying? So this is throw it up inside your DNA, this pain, this suffering. You know, you start to get your memories back, not just from all the shit that you dealt with in this life, but in all your other past lives and all the other shit that you dealt with in those lives. And you start to filter out the traumas that was in those lives. You see what I'm saying? So you get rid of this shit. What's up, K-Hero? You getting rid of all these pains and sufferings now. You filtering those out. You filtering out your heart chakra. You filtering out your mind. An enslaved mind is an enslaved soul. You see what I'm saying? So you break the shackles on your mind, you can free your soul. You see what I'm saying? And do whatever you need to do to grow and become the supernatural being, God/goddess that you was meant to be. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on when we talking about this force energy. This energy that we got inside of us that's literally keeping us alive, that's sustaining us. We could by the natural law, the laws of physics, we already supposed to be dead. You see what I'm saying? By the natural law. Bobby here once said something in one of his lectures way back when. He said, one day, I just remember falling, and I know I died. But somehow, I came back to life. The force sustained him. See what I'm saying? It said when you learn to commune deep enough, the force can be as sustaining as food and water. You see what I'm saying? When you learn to commune deep enough, the force can be as sustaining as food and water. So by that teaching, the force can bypass the natural law. This is what I've been telling y'all in my Silver Magic and Alchemy lecture that I talked about yesterday. So this is just me tapping into this force alchemy now, and we going deeper into how to sustain yourself and why you're being sustained. What's happening? Why is the force sustaining us? You see what I'm saying? What's going on down here as to why we need to be here? You see what I'm saying? At this point, it's a matter of you need to be here. It ain't even we want to be here. You need to be here. Because without you, the spiritual balance of this planet will be broken and it'll descend into darkness once more. So that's the importance of the Starseeds. You're here to maintain balance in the force. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening to you. So you got this going on. You got this going on. You got these beings who have sought for the last 6,000 years on up to 300,000 years to destroy you in as many different ways as possible, both physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and soulfully. But now, even through all that shit, you made it through, and they can't stand you for that. You see what I'm saying? They hate you just because of what you are. It ain't got shit to do with what you did, why you here. None of it. They hate you because of what you are, what's inside of you. You see what I'm saying? That cosmic spark. You see what I'm saying? That divine spark. What is divine? What is divinity? Divinity just means to dive in. You see what I'm saying? Primordial, original. You see what I'm saying? When we say original, we talking about omega. You see what I'm saying? That omega. You the end. But you also the alpha. You see what I'm saying? The beginning. Man, if you really want to take it, you have no beginning to end it. Because you are children of the Most High, Creator, Source God, or Source Deity, Port Mandarin, Source / Hunaku. You are children of Him, or it / her / it. You see what I'm saying? So since we the children of that, we have those original primordial energies flowing through us. And that's why they're catching hell killing us. The only way they can kill us is if we don't know who we are. Which is what the veil of forgetfulness is for when we come down here. That's why you forget. The hell kind of planet have a veil of forgetfulness. A lyrical energetic frequency that causes you forget who you are. See what I'm saying? What type of shit is that? What type of contract is that? You see what I'm saying? What's up, Claudia? What type of contract have you forget who the fuck you are? That shit that in and of itself is crazy and maddening. So yeah, you come down here with a clean slate. But unlike them who had to come down here and be fucked up, you are like the video game character who has beat the game, but you started your new game plus and you had a game with all your abilities. But the trick is, just like in that new game plus, you gotta remember you have those abilities. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You gotta remember you have those abilities. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we talk about when we talk about that primordial energy inside of you. You are it and it is you. You see what I'm saying? You are it and it is you. You see what I'm saying? So since you're individual expressions of this creator deity who is you, and you are it, this divine root, this divine soul, this original source intelligence, then they hate that because they don't have that. They just vampires. They chose to not connect with the source. They said they used to boast and say, y'all the boy from these archons and all and the Dracos and all these hosts that they created. You see what I'm saying? All these beings they created to worship them. They used to boast that we the guys, and there's no one before us. Lying to the people, lying to the beings. When in actuality, they already knew that there were primordial deities before them, immortals before them. You see what I'm saying? They already knew this shit, and still they decided to teach this false law. You see what I'm saying? This false program, and create this false material realm to make you think that this was them who did it. No, it was never them. We the ones who created this from the primordial, the pleroma. And then we incarnated down here to slowly but surely set down the groundwork and plan to transform this shit. So yeah, the Force sustains you. They literally have an ability in Star Wars called Force Sustain, or Force Sustaining. And let me tell you how it operates. It says here, let's see. Let us see here. Force sustenance, which is also called, was a controversial force power that was employed by the cloistered mind walkers. It allowed a member of the mind walkers to sustain themselves with nothing but the essence of the force. The Forsaken Jedi Knight Qualo Mode used this technique to fire a missile launcher at the Jade Shadow without wearing a helmet, while floating in the vacuum of space. So that motherfucker ain't even have a helmet on. He got damn, but yet the force sustained him. So even in space, he was breathing in that force energy, that primordial energy. You see what I'm saying? The technique's power could be amplified through the exercise of mind walking, as evidenced by Rundi and Roland Tremaine's combined usage of these force powers. Now, they get into how it works. The force sustainability is used by using the force to operate all internal body functions. The heart beating, the lungs absorbing oxygen, the muscles moving, all controlled by using the force instead of relying on the subconscious involuntary actions of the body. The force sustain allows one to live for an inestimable amount of time, but it requires unfathomable force power. You see what I'm saying? Let's see here. Let's see. It says here that the body itself dies. This is what I mean by you become an apparition. The body itself dies, but constant usage of the force could keep the brain artificially awake, allowing the user to use more force energy to operate every conceived bodily function. So this body dies, but your spirit usurps the body and have it to continue living. You keep it living with its life energies. You see what I'm saying? Because the body decays, the body falls apart, but you can use the force itself to keep you alive. You see what I'm saying? They call this ability force sustain. You see what I'm saying? Which is the name of this lecture, or force sustainment. See what I'm saying? So you already came down here with this ability program inside of you. What if I told y'all that? And this is why they have a hard time killing you. You see what I'm saying? The few little Starseeds they did get, the ones they did get, the only reason they got killed, or, they died is because they got them before they could figure out their spiritual self. You see what I'm saying? Their true self. They called them while they was kids before they had time to grow and nourish and learn. That's why we tell you to protect your kids, because they are after them. They are after your star children. But when you awaken to who you are, the force sustains you from that point on. You see what I'm saying? Because now you have a mission, and don't let you begin to find out your path and begin to walk your soul journey to the best of your abilities. Oh, you damn sure ain't going nowhere then. You see what I'm saying? When you get on your path, like you become a Bobby Hemmett or fucking Dr. Devil Blair or Miss Blue or somebody, you damn sure ain't going nowhere then. Because now you have the opportunity to help raise the consciousness on the planet. You see what I'm saying? Affect hundreds, thousands, and even possibly millions of beings. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on. So the reason why they treated our ancestors like shit is because they knew that we was gonna come back. They didn't treat our ancestors like shit for them. They treated our ancestors like shit for us because they knew we was gonna come back. So they had to fuck our forefathers and foremothers up so bad that by the time it got to us, this shit was completely dysfunctional. It was never about our ancestors in that moment. It was always about us, the Starseeds that would come back. You know, the Native Americans call us the Rainbow Children. Let me see here. I bring that particular book that talks about the Rainbow Warriors. Y'all can get this book, Way of the Jedi, by Force of One. You ain't never seen it before. And this guy's name is Lieutenant Colonel David K. Swedenman. But you can't miss it. You know, it's called Way of the Jedi, Force of One. And he holding the blue lightsaber, you know, if you want to get this book. And in this book, he talked about the Rainbow Warriors. You know, the Native American prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors. Let me see here, page 49. Rainbow Warriors. Here we go. He said, he begins talking about the Rainbow Prophecy. He said, the Earth Mother is calling to you, though you may not hear her. It is not a cry for help for the fishes in the sea, the dolphins, whales, or polar bear, or ice caps, or global warming. There is a threat to our very existence, and she is being attacked to help you awake, to help you wake up. So basically, Mother Earth is a sacrificial lamb to help you wake up. You see what I'm saying? And then he gets into the ancient prophecies of Native American, the Rainbow Prophecy. They state this. One day, there will come a time when the earth being ravaged and polluted, the forests being destroyed, the birds falling from the air, the waters blackened, the fish being poisoned in the streams, and when the trees will no longer be. Mankind, as we know it, will all but cease to exist. This is how the Rainbow Prophecy begins, as retold by a woman of the Cree Indian Nation of America over a century ago. So they dropped these prophecies a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. Next, he said, next part of the Rainbow Prophecy is, it is believed that these legendary beings will return on a day of awakening, when all people will unite and create a new world of justice, peace, and freedom. And they will be named the Warriors of the Rainbow. They will reteach the values and the knowledge that has been lost in time, demonstrating how to have wisdom and extra perception. Use extrasensory perception, as we call it now, and how unity, harmony, and love is the only way forward. You see what I'm saying? So, and they go on to continue here. At the beginning of this cycle of time, long ago, the great spirit, Hunab-Ku, came down and he made an appearance and he gathered the peoples of the earth together. They say on an island which is now beneath the water. And he said to the human beings, I'm going to send you to 4 directions. And over time, I'm going to change you to 4 colors. But I'm going to give you some teachings, and you will call these the original teachings. And when you come back together with each other, you will share these so that you can live and have peace on earth, and a great civilization will come about. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on. Then they go on and say, leaders would be those whose actions speak the loudest, the ones that have demonstrated wisdom and courage and have proven that they work for the benefit of all. And he says, isn't this how this should be? So they telling you what it is here. He said the rainbow has always held special significance among the different Native American Indians because the rainbow represents the 7 chakras. You see what I'm saying? It is connected to the supreme God that's created in all things, or in the Native American tongue, the supreme creator is Wakanda. How about that? or Wakantanka. I know that's another way of saying it, or Wakanda. How about that? What was the most powerful movie of this decade? Black Panther. Where were they? Wakanda. Now y'all starting to see what's going on here. What's up, Colleen? Y'all starting to see what's going on here. Wakanda. You see what I'm saying? And see, then you got, apart from the Cree prophecy, there are many prophecies and stories from the Hopi, the Zuni, and the Cherokee related to the Rainbow Warriors. They said there will come a day when people of all races, colors, and creeds will put aside their differences. They will come together in love, joining hands in unification to heal the earth and all her children. They will move over the earth like a great whirling rainbow, bringing peace, understanding, and healing everywhere they go. Many creatures thought to be extinct or mythical will resurface at this time. The great trees that perished will return almost overnight. All living things will flourish, drawing sustenance from the beast, all living things will flourish, drawing sustenance from the breast of our mother, the earth, Gaia, Kaya. Did I just say that? The source is sustaining you. The source within you is sustaining you. And you are also being sustained by Mother Earth herself, Mother Gaia. If you've already awoken, what's up, Alexis? She's sustaining you as well. And see, the great spiritual teachers who walked the earth and taught the basis of the truths of the word and rainbow prophecy will return and walk amongst us once more, sharing their power and understanding with all. We will learn how to see and hear in a sacred manner. Men and women will be equals in the way Creator intended them to be. All children will be safe anywhere they want to go. Elders will be respected and valued for their contributions to life. Their wisdom will be sought out. The whole human race will be called the people, and there will be no more war, sickness, or hunger. The Navajo Hopi prophecy of the whirling rainbow. So they telling you what it is. They telling you what it is. So here go another one. Here go another prophecy that they went in on. This one I think is called the 7 Fires of the Anishinaabe from the ancient Wampum Belt. Yeah. The circle Grandfather Williams, commander, circle of all nation prophecies of the 7 Fires of the Anishinaabe from ancient Wampum Belt. Check out what they said. In the time of the 7th fire, a new people would emerge. They will retrace their steps to find the wisdom that was left by the side of the trail long ago. Their steps take them to the elders who they ask to guide them on their journey. If the new people remain strong in their quest, the sacred drum will again sound its voice. What is the sacred drum? The heartbeat of your soul. It will reawaken not only your inner heartbeat, but Mother Earth's heartbeat and the heartbeat of the cosmos. You will hear it again. It will speak again, which is happening now. See what I'm saying? So we on the right path. There will be an awakening of the people, and the sacred fire will be soul fire, will again be lit. At this time, the light-skinned race will be given a choice between 2 roads. Those are the elites, the cabal, the pale ones that's in power right now. Yeah. One road is the road of greed and technology, without wisdom or respect for life. That's what they was trying to do before we intervened. Then, this road represents a rush to destruction. The other road is spirituality. It's a slower path that includes respect for all living things. If we choose the spiritual path, we can light yet another fire. An 8th fire. Yeah. There we go. If we choose the spiritual path, we can light yet another fire. An 8th fire, and begin an extended period of peace and healthy growth. So we choose spirituality. It'll be slower than the technological path, but we'll have time to keep up with ourselves, and we'll grow because we'll be living in harmony with nature. And it will spark an 8th fire. What is the 8th fire? 8th is infinity. So it's gonna spark the infinite golden fire, the golden flame, the golden age. You see what I'm saying? That's what the 8th fire is. It's gonna be the spark that ignites the golden age. You see what I'm saying? Or a better way of saying it is, it's gonna trigger the spark that leads us into the golden age. How about that? How about that? You see what I'm saying? So this the Geronimo Band from 1886. So y'all want to check them out. You know, just some warriors, some spiritual warriors of their time. You see what I'm saying? It's always Jedi. It's always Jedi. It's always a Jedi order. The Native American have 10 commandments. Check this out. Nothing like what you read in the fucking Bible. This shit here is powerful. The first one is, the earth is our mother. Care for her. Honor all your relations. Open your heart and soul to the great spirit, Wakanda. All life is sacred. Treat all things with respect. Take from the earth what is needed and nothing more. Do what needs to be done for the good of all. Give constant thanks to the great spirit for each new day. Speak the truth, but only of the good in others. Follow the rhythms of nature. Rise and retire with the sun. Enjoy life's journey, but leave no tracks. So there y'all go. And this come from We're the Jedi, Force of One. If y'all never heard of the book, pretty dope book. So yeah. So this is what we talking about. You are being sustained by the source of all, by the force itself, by your inner soul glow, by Mother Earth. You see what I'm saying? By Mother Earth's planetary life energies, because she has her own life force as well. Don't forget that. So this is what you got going on here. So all this is happening because you have been chosen to light the spark that will lead us into the new golden age. You are the chosen children of the last days. The Latter-day Saints is the Mormons. They kind of stole that name. The Mormons, the Latter-day Saints is actually supposed to be us. We are the Latter-day Saints, the Latter-day chosen ones, or Latter-day Starseeds, who have chosen to take up the torch and finish this shit up for the most part. We came here to finish it up. And through all the generational curses, through all the bullshit, through all the traumas and blockages and pains and miseries, and all the arcanic shit that's been thrown at us, the Mother Earth, the cosmos, the source of all, and the force itself whispers in our ear saying, keep going. You see what I'm saying? Just keep going. We got you. You already insured. Notice I said insured, not outsured. You insured. You see what I'm saying? You already insured that you gonna make it through this shit. You see what I'm saying? You just gotta fight the good fight. Take it step by step and day by day. Like John Rambo told you. You see what I'm saying? How will you live, John? Step by step and day by motherfucking day. You see what I'm saying? like he told you. So shit. So that's what you're doing. The force sustains you at the end of the day. So this was happening here. So not only does it sustain you here, so you think your Starseed brothers and sisters are dead, but force sustainment works both ways, both here and in the afterlife. You think that they dead, they killed them off, they gone. Lies. According to my sources, your Starseed brothers and sisters that they so-called killed or snatched out of the body, or are still living, waiting on the other side, to reanimate at the prophesied time. You see what I'm saying? Because it's force sustainment in the living, but we call them force ghosts when we dealing with the spiritual. You see what I'm saying? We dealing with the plane of the force. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the force ghosts. You see what I'm saying? Let's go back to the guide to essential force. Let's talk about you being sustained both here and there for this prophesied awakening. Hold on. Let me get the page up real quick. Let's see. Here we go. We're gonna start with the Jedi spirits. Despite their powers, even the most powerful Jedi eventually die. For most, death is a release from the physical form and allows them to join the totality of the Force. However, encounter with Jedi apparitions indicate that some Jedi have learned how to maintain their identities even after death. So your Starseeds brothers have learned how to maintain their identities even after death. You see what I'm saying? So that they linger at the edges of the physical world of the living as Force ghosts. You see, or Force spirits. You see what I'm saying? Although these spirits can communicate with the living, the method by which they become spirits has never been documented. We're going to get to that part. I'm going to fill in that blank later. And it's not completely understood. Being a Jedi does not seem to guarantee one's ability to rematerialize, and it is only assumed that the transition cannot be achieved accidentally, but rather by some deliberate effort or knowledge. In some cases, the Jedi's body dematerializes upon death, but not always. According to Luke Skywalker in a recording he made shortly after founding the Jedi Academy. He says this: "After my father died on the Death Star, his body vanished. I brought his armor and his mechanical remains to Endor and burned them. It seemed like the right thing to do, maybe the best thing. The idea of burial just felt wrong. I can only imagine what it must have been like for him, trapped within their armor for so many years. And I hoped the flames would somehow liberate him. As I joined my friends at the victory celebration, apparitions of Obi-Wan and Yoda appeared before me. Because of my previous encounter with Obi-Wan's spirit at Yavin, Hoth, and Dagobah, I was aware that his spirit could travel across space. So I wasn't surprised to see them so much as I was glad they had endured." You see what I'm saying? So you still endure even after this shit here. They're telling you right there. Then a third apparition appeared that I recognized as my father. I cannot express the joy I felt upon seeing his face, unmatched and smiling. There are many old stories in which a Jedi becomes one with the Force, but it seems this phrase could be interpreted as a Jedi euphemism for dying, as the tales seldom indicate whether a Jedi corpse actually vanished. Tion was able to find numerous records of Jedi that corroborated the fact that I was not the first to witness a Jedi's transition to spiritual form. 2 accounts were recorded by the ancient Jedi Nomi Sunrider, who was the spirit of her husband, the Jedi Knight Andor Sunrider. Moments after he was slain by an underworld gang, years later she was the physical body of the mortally wounded Ulic Qel-Droma. Like my father, a former Jedi and reformed Sith Lord disappeared on the planet Rinvar after he redeemed himself to the Jedi. Yet there is no mention that he reappeared in spiritual form. Evidently, the ancient Jedi did not regard such spirits as remarkable or accidental occurrences, which suggests that they may have been aware of how to survive death. But it seems that this knowledge became lost or forgotten, possibly more than 3,000 years ago, although some texts indicate that only Jedi Masters could achieve this transition. Exceptions such as Jedi Knights Andor Sunrider and Anakin Skywalker indicate that a Force user's title is not so significant. For now, I can only assume that the survival of a Jedi's consciousness beyond death may have something to do with training as well as the will of the Force, or with individuals' openness to the Force. Pay attention to that last part. Or with the individual's openness, communion, connection to the Force. You see what I'm saying? So don't never, ever close yourself off to any aspect of the Force, because that may be the last piece of the puzzle you need. You see what I'm saying? Let's see here. Let's see. Don't need to read anything else. Check this out. One can only surmise whether he sought or found closure in witnessing the final downfall of his own killer. But his appearance was proof that Jedi spirits like their Sith counterparts can endure for many millennia. So you can die and walk around this bitch for another 3,000 years in spiritual form if you so chose to. That's what they basically telling you. Let's see, I got one more. So those were the Jedi spirits, right? The Sith learned how to do it too. Matter of fact, the Sith learned how to do it before the Jedi, because they existed long before the Jedi did. Let's see here. Sith spirits. Let us begin. There's a long history of Sith Lords and Darksiders who abandon their physical forms upon death to become one with the Force and return to the material realm as ghostly incarnations. Some of these spirits were lost forever, but others found ways to attach their essence to objects and locations strong in dark power. The necropolis on Korriban is especially strong with the dark side, and numerous Darksiders have sought out spirits there often with disastrous results. Bear in mind, my curious friend, that few spirits are content to remain as such, and most aspire to live again in some corporeal form. You see what I'm saying? So here's a passage from particular Dark Jedi turned Sith, by the name of Claw. He said, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Mark Arachnos, had been dead for only a brief period of time when his spirit halted a duel between the rival Sith Lords Ludo Kresh, what's up Astrid? Ludo Kresh and Naga Sadao, both of whom sought to claim the exalted title of Dark Lord of the Sith. Arachnos did not tell Kresh and Sato of his beliefs or give them specific direction. He only informed them of the existence of the Jedi and cautioned them to make their decisions for the future wisely. As I have previously noted, the debacle that followed brought about the death of Kresh, the fall of the Sith Empire, and Sadai's relocation to Yavin 4, where his spirit was ultimately interred. Approximately 1,400 years later, the Dark Jedi Frida and Nod followed rumors about the Sith until he arrived at Yavin 4 and discovered the descendants of Sadai's Masashi. These Masashi delivered Nod to a temple where he awakened Naga Sadai's spirit. After gleaning information about Sith sorcery and plundering Sadai's vault for Sith artifacts, Nod traveled to the planet Onderon, which he conquered and made his own, where he proclaimed himself the new Dark Lord of the Sith. Right? So here we go. Frida and Nod ruled over Onderon for over a century. Following his death, his spirit possessed a series of his descendants for more than 350 years. This is what we meant by generational curses. Notice, they said his spirit possessed them for over 350 years. So the spirits of your ancestors can continue to possess you long after they die. And this is the proof. You see what I'm saying? Until the Jedi arrived on Onderon and terminated his possession of King Omen. But Nod's spirit hardly became inactive, nor was his range limited to a single world. So not only are you not limited to here, the Mother Earth, you can go anywhere in the cosmos as a fucking Sith spirit or a Jedi spirit or a spirit period, or an enlightened spirit to be precise, one who knows who they are and knows that there's more than just this arcanic matrix we're living in. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So, but Nod's spirit hardly became inactive, nor was his range limited to a single world. The Jedi were still dealing with Omen on Onderon when Nod contacted Satal and Alima Keto, the founders of the Croft, and told them they were the future of his work. Even after the Jedi transferred his remains to Onderon's moon, Dixun, Nod's spirit remained on Onderon long enough to appear before the Jedi Knight Ulic Keldroma, and foretold that Keldroma would become a Sith Lord. Although the Jedi had designed and built Frida and Nod's new tomb on Dixun to withstand the ages, it was not long before the Dark Jedi and Sakun infiltrated the structure and found Nod's remains. Nod's spirit awoken yet again and directed Sakun to Naga Sadai's fortress on Yavin 4. Nod had hoped to utilize Sadai's ancient alchemical laboratory, Sith alchemy, to accomplish his own rebirth in a new body. But his spirit was vanquished by the power-hungry Sakun. Before Nod's spirit surrendered to utter annihilation, he reached out to the Croft on the planet Koros Major and told them to beware of Sakun. However, Kun sensed Nod's communication with the Croft and became determined to destroy his Sith-influenced rivals. By the time Kun arrived at the city of Senegar on Koros Major, Ulic Keldroma had killed Satal Keto and joined Alima to lead the Croft, Kun, and Keldroma. But were stopped by the spirit of Markaragnos, who told them that they will restore the Sith Empire to its former glory. So, your spirit can intervene. What's up, Sky? Your spirit can intervene. What's up, Rain? And stop your own people from fucking themselves up if they're strong enough. This is why they keep this knowledge from you. The knowledge of life after death. You see what I'm saying? Let's see here. What was I? Restore the Sith to his former glory. Ragnos proclaimed Kun the new Dark Lord of the Sith and Keldroma his first and foremost apprentice. Although Kun and Ulic Keldroma assembled a vast army and corrupted many Jedi students, Keldroma was ultimately stripped of his powers and Kun was defeated by the Jedi on Yavin 4. As of yet, there are no records of any further appearances by Marco Ragnos or other significant Sith spirits, but most believe that the Ragnos' return is only a matter of time. Let's see what I'm saying? Let's see. So they tell you what this spiritual shit is about. You know, you're not limited to just this physical body. Let's see. Finally, they said, having survived the destruction of the second Death Star as a ghostly manifestation, I can assure you that it is most wearisome state to be in. It is not enough to retain one's power beyond death, for a non-corporeal avatar can only do so much. The primary advantage of becoming a Sith spirit that it allows one the opportunity to return to a new body, so that one might again enjoy the pleasures of the flesh. Because the flesh is weak and can be severely ravaged by the dark side, your melanin, one must take care when choosing a body. Yet this is the essential paradox of the dark side. The more successful the dark side, the more quickly that dark side of the body decays. How do I retain my youthful countenance? You flatter me. Read on, my friend. Read on. And then he go into cloning. You see what I'm saying? Which we already talked about the cloning. So there y'all go. They telling you what it is here with these teachers. You see what I'm saying? They telling you what it is. Now, that tells you that it's possible to become a Force Ghost. But they don't tell you the process of becoming a Force Ghost. Now, this is where I get into the book Intimo Pi, The Ancient Trainer of the Immortals by James Van Gelder. Let me see here. Let's see. Storing up life force storing up the life force inside of you to preserve your consciousness after death. Let's see here. Let us begin. Intimo Pi. Let's start with page 136. Let's see here. Let's tell you how to do it. Now they tell you this: a large portion of the MOPI technology is directed towards obtaining enough life force to handle situations that call for war and self-defense. See what I'm saying? It's also said that if the great work has not been completed, one should be making every effort possible to merge with the higher conscious awareness of who one is and why they are here. One should do what is most important first and focus entirely on achieving balance with nature, mastering the senses, and experientially merging with the primordial self, or more precisely with your primordial self. You see what I'm saying? Conscious expansion toward an enlightened understanding of reality is the greatest endeavor of man. May we all make a worthy effort. So they tell you what it is. Let's see another page here, page 88. Let's see. Oh yeah. See, this tell you the difference. You got MOPI there. You got natural progression or natural fusion. You see what I'm saying? Let's see here. Let's see. The true power comes from the lower dantian, or also known as the candle bulb, in more refined forms of yoga. The chi in the lower dantian rises up during concentration meditation and creates more electric ki at the 6th chakra, where the yin and yang meet. For this reason, the practitioner who attains natural fusion is not limited in power and can continue to make electric chi indefinitely. The power does not hit a ceiling. It is just much smaller to begin with when compared with MOPI. You see what I'm saying? And they tell you the electric ki is not an endpoint or final achievement in energy cultivation. So what is? Well, what is the final achievement then? Let's find out. Let's find out what the final achievement is. It says here, after fusion of your yin and yang forces inside you, that's why we talk about balance. You fusing those energies inside of you makes you an immortal. You see what I'm saying? After fusion has occurred, the practitioner will become an immortal, just like I just said. And they will retain their yang chi after death. Their yang chi after death, because your spirit is already made of yin energy. You see, I preserve your actual consciousness, like how I'm talking to you now, your actual consciousness after death. That's what they meant by yang chi. The idea of immortality is that yin-yang fusion attained by the practitioner never goes away, not even after death of the physical body. Considering the fusion of the energies is permanent, the initiate no longer needs to go through the process of levels 1 through 4 in order to create additional amounts of the electric ki. The master at this level will automatically create the electric ki they need from the yin and yang chi they absorb. From this point forward, the master needs only to proceed to accumulate more yin and yang chi through absolute meditation practice. Absolute meditation for long periods of time is the most powerful form of gathering yin and yang chi. During a period of intense training, John Chang left his home and lived in the mountains for 2 years, living off of roots and plants in an isolated cave, constantly practicing meditation. Mastering the mind and gaining the ability to engage in absolute concentration results in a new plateau in the capability to accumulate chi. Now let's see here. That was page 108. All right, let's slide over to 114 real quick. Now we talk about pre-celestial chi. According to Taoist alchemy, in order to finally escape the continuous cycle of death and rebirth, one has to fuse pre-celestial chi. The fusion of pre-celestial chi in Taoist alchemy is known as becoming a spiritual immortal. In other traditions, this feat commonly referred to as enlightenment, becoming an arhat, or simply referred to as completing a great work, magnum opus. Pre-celestial chi comes from the source of all. You see what I'm saying? Hunab Ku, Port Mandarin, their primordial energy, their primordial intelligence. It is beyond the world and its creation. First, let me read that again. Pre-celestial chi comes from the source, and it is beyond the world and its creation. Furthermore, humans only have a finite amount of pre-celestial chi given to them at birth, and when this chi runs out, the body ceases to function. It is said that each one of us is estimated to have enough pre-celestial chi at birth to live 500 years. We now have new information on that you can live up to 1,000 years. You see what I'm saying? However, most of the greatest masters, including both Dharma users, do not live past 200 because they get sick of this shit. The process used to greatly increase the longevity of the physical body is to constantly replenish post-celestial chi, so that inherent pre-celestial chi goes away at a slower pace. The fusion of pre-celestial chi does not create the electric chi like the previous fusion, but instead creates an entirely new form of energy referred to as the golden light, or source energy. See what I'm saying? This is the golden light, the golden intelligence inside of you, the soul intelligence inside of you, that Jesus and many other ascended masters in the past are attributed with using to heal people. More importantly, when pre-celestial chi is fused together, one forms what is known as the light body, or Dharma body. Embodying this form is commonly known to as enlightenment by many traditions. The body of light does not rely on energies from earth to survive, but instead absorbs energy directly from the source of Tao, which is beyond this world and its creation. Masters at this level are said to be truly liberated from the continuous cycle of death and rebirth. After death, these masters follow a trail of light out of continual rebirth. You see what I'm saying? There you go, Rainbow Ale, the last dragon light, the glow. Right, that soul glow that he was emitting. You see what I'm saying? Javon, I explained a lot of what I have been incorporating in my practice. It's becoming more spiritual and tangible than thinking of myself as physical or teaching my astral self to effectively interact. I agree. That's what I mean. You got to become an apparition, more soul and spirit than you are body or man. You see what I'm saying? That's the secret. You gotta refine your spiritual energies and mental and soulful energies inside you to a point where you become a living, breathing apparition, more soul and spirit than you are man. You see what I'm saying? So let's continue here. When looking at the Mopai level 30 achievement, there exists distinct similarities with the Taoist pre-celestial fusion. If we look at Lao Che Tong in particular, who is a master that has passed level 30, he showed distinct differences in ability when compared with John Chang, estimated level 22, who has not passed level 30. One of the largest clues that separate Lao Che Tong from John Chang is Lao's ability to use the golden wave energy, or to project his source energy. The product from the fusion of post-celestial chi, Hu Tian Chi, is like electric power, whereas the product from the fusion of pre-celestial chi, Xian Tian Chi, is like nuclear power. So you become nuclear. Like I said, the thought bomb. You become a living thought bomb. You become a nuclear weapon, nuclear tool, nuclear spirit, all that shit. That's what I be telling y'all. And this is from the Taoist perspective, by the way. Instead of the electric key created in the fusion of post-celestial chi, the fusion of pre-celestial chi gives a master control over a new type of energy. This energy is often referred to as the golden light. From the text, the golden light energy holds similarity with Mopai. Specifically, John Chang will often describe his Sifu, Lao Che Tong, miraculous ability to use the golden heat to cure people of cancer. The golden heat is a characteristic of a true spiritual immortal, pre-celestial fusion. You see what I'm saying? And likewise, the Taoist alchemists consider one who has fused pre-celestial chi to be a true immortal. You see what I'm saying? Damn. So yeah. One of the abilities is They once they unlock this ability, they have the ability to be conscious at many different locations at once. You see what I'm saying? So they can be all over. They can sit in their mind all over the planet at once and experience everything around them, which is a very powerful ability. See what I'm saying? Like they have mass or remote viewing ability. You see what I'm saying? They can see you, me, fucking 5 other people on the planet at the same damn time and gather information from them, like shadow clones. There's mass shadow cloning. You see what I'm saying? They can clone themselves all over the fucking planet and talk to you and gather intel and bring that energy back into them, just like Naruto. You see what I'm saying? So let's see here. The last one is 122. Let's see. Celestial Immortal, which is the final level. The ultimate stage of conscious evolution a person can attain while in human form on Earth in Taoist alchemy is that of the Celestial Immortal. Attaining the level of Spiritual Immortal is like peanuts compared to the task of attaining the status of Celestial Immortal. As mentioned earlier, the Spiritual Immortal has to spend nearly a decade of his/her time in motionless absolute concentration in order to reach the ranking of Celestial Immortal. The idea behind the Spiritual Immortal level is that the master forms the body of light, but this body of light still needs to be developed. The master still needs to merge with the light. At the Celestial Immortal level, the master has achieved complete integration of the physical body with the light of spirit. When a master at this level passes away, they can dematerialize and rematerialize anywhere at will. Notice what they said. When a master at this level passes away, they can dematerialize and rematerialize anywhere at will. Masters at this level are still limited to a human lifespan, but after death, the body vanishes and nothing remains. Similar to George Lucas's Star Wars, when Darth Vader struck down Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Death Star, and he vanished, leaving nothing remaining of his goddamn body. See what I'm saying? They said it was said that when the grave of Bodhidharma was open, only his shoes remained. So there y'all go. That's how you do it. You have to store your energies up inside of you, refine them to their highest levels, to their most highest and concentrated levels, and these energies will literally keep you alive for as long as you need to be here. See what I'm saying? You need to be here. Bodhidharma didn't die, he just chose to leave. There's a difference. You can control when you die. So that's the ultimate secret of this shit. Or force sustainment. You can control when you die. You leave when you ready to fucking leave. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So this is what we talking about. When we talking about this here. So there you go. There you go. Storing that life force up inside of you. You know? Storing that life force up inside of you. That thought bomb. That nuclear force. You see what I'm saying? You can do anything with this power. This energetic presence that exists. This universal, unified, metaphysical field that you can tap into called the force. You see what I'm saying? So, here go one more record. This is from Luke Skywalker here. All are said to have passed into the force while remaining behind this world as phantoms, achieving an extreme transformation through the sublimation of a body's organic cells into a state of pure energy. In other words, when you refine, and it's a good movie to watch is fucking Big Trouble in Little China when old, but they said he atomized himself. When you refine your life energies inside of you to such a point that your spirit becomes so fucking strong that you don't even fucking exist for real here. You kind of like living in between, for real. You so refined, your atoms are so refined, you so spiritual. What we mean by spiritual is you so much of an apparition at this point that fucking your physical corporal shell can do nothing but emanate that light, that source energy from within you, because it's overriding the chemical energies in your body. You see what I'm saying? The life force energies is overriding the chemical energies. And so you exude this glow, like Bruce Leroy and Sho'nuff did in The Last Dragon. He also goes on to say, from my own experience, I know that the force spirits can communicate with those still alive and can appear as a vision of their former selves unmarked by disease or injury. They can appear anywhere in the galaxy to those who had known them in life for echo in one's thoughts as being did in mine. What they talking about there? I got a video for y'all to explain that. You know, your Force Ghost can still affect the physical. You know that, right? So even after you so-called die, which leads to the thought bomb lecture, right back to the thought bomb lecture. I told y'all that even after they died, they black dots will still blow up. It's gonna sound just like this. It's gonna sound just like this. It's gonna be a clapping sound or like a clicking sound. They thought bomb's gonna snap and erupt and wipe this system out. That's what I meant by the thought bomb, right? Well, how do they do this? Well, Force Ghosts can affect the physical plane. You see what I'm saying? Like Luke Skywalker just said. Well, let's see an example of this. We gonna travel to the Last Jedi. One of the few good scenes in the Last Jedi, I must say. It ain't many, but check this out. Let me see here. Go to downloads. There we go. Just brighten it up a little bit so y'all can see it. It's a dark scene.
Master Yoda. Young Skywalker. I'm ending all of this. The tree, the text, the Jedi. I'm gonna burn it down. Skywalker, Mr. Jedi. So it is time. The Jedi ordered ahead.
Yep, so there y'all go. As y'all seen, Master Yoda affected the physical plane as a Force Ghost. Also, Luke caught a lightsaber from as a Force Ghost in Rise of Skywalker as well. So they let you know that you can affect the physical plane from the great beyond, or so-called great beyond. Obviously, it's not the great beyond, just another plane of existence without this corporeal form, obviously. And motherfuckers still can affect it from their realm with their will and their minds. You see what I'm saying? Let's see here. I had another one for y'all.
It is I, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Here we go. Well, they talk about this.
Yoda, hear you, I do. Who are you? My imagination, it must be. No. It is I, Qui-Gon Jinn. That cannot be. Dead you are. No. I am part of the living Force, Yoda.
It is well known that Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn was the first of the Jedi to learn the ability of transcending his consciousness into the next realm, becoming a Force Ghost. As no other Jedi had learned of this power before, he was the first to pass down his knowledge after his death through connecting with Master Yoda during his intense meditation rituals. Yoda then passed the knowledge down to Obi-Wan Kenobi, as we saw in the end of Revenge of the Sith, thus allowing Obi-Wan and Yoda to vanish upon their deaths. Obi-Wan with Vader in Episode 4, and Yoda in Return of the Jedi in his hut on Dagobah. How, where, and who did Qui-Gon Jinn learn this ability to transcend himself after the physical world as a Force Ghost? And how did Anakin show up as a Force Ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi, with his other two masters. There are two questions here, one which shall be addressed in this episode, and the other we'll leave that for another time. During Qui-Gon's lineage, before his physical death by Darth Maul, he traveled to an ancient place to see the Shaman of the Wills. One of their shamans was known to have discovered the secret of eternal consciousness, and, later, Qui-Gon Jinn learned the secret, allowing him to interact with the living after his death. We can trace the early drafts of Episode 4, A New Hope, where George Lucas stated was originally an old story told in the Journal of the Wills. What's the Journal of the Wills? Well, it's where he had thought Star Wars should be read by these highly intelligent, immortal beings known as the Wills, who essentially were the Force itself. He later abolished this theory and thought it would be more understandable if he just called them the Force,
them the deities,
and creating a
the
side
Wills
story to pay homage to them through Qui-Gon's travels and ability to become a Force ghost. They were a record of galactic knowledge. The Shaman of the Wills were first specifically mentioned in the screenplay of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, in a now deleted scene that features the spirit of Qui-Gon Jinn communicating with Yoda. In the scene, which was never filmed, Jinn stated the eternal consciousness that had been accomplished by a Shaman of the Wills is a cut line from a later scene which also had Yoda saying that the path to eternal consciousness was a secret of the ancient order of the Wills. We can also see in the Clone Wars that the final 3 episodes titled Voices, Destiny, and Sacrifice expanded on how Jinn learned the secret to eternal consciousness and how he passed that knowledge onto Yoda. In the episode, Yoda learned about the secret from the 5 Force priestesses who had also trained Jinn. What is confusing, however, is that Qui-Gon did learn from the Shaman of the Wills. However, later, the story was changed to the priestesses and him not having finished his training, which is the result of him only appearing as a premonition or a voice and not as a manifestation of his old body. But no mention is made of a Shaman of the Wills. Regardless of his deleted entry, StarWars.com still officially claims Master Qui-Gon learning his ability from the ancient Shaman of the Wills. So, this is very much canon. In my opinion, what I believe happened here is that the Shaman of the Wills were now changed to the priestesses in order to give a more cartoony and understandable effect. However, the original script made by George Lucas before Episode 4, A New Hope, was distinctly written as the Shaman of the Wills. So it is my belief that these are 2 of the same entities, just with different names. Here is an official quote from Qui-Gon in a dialogue between himself and Master Yoda upon his learnings in becoming a Force ghost. The ability to defy oblivion can be achieved, but only for oneself. It was accomplished by a Shaman of the Wills. It is a state acquired through compassion, not greed, which I mentioned above in the first part of this video. I find this very interesting as it shows the connection between the Force and Lucas's ability to create a person in homage of this theory. So beyond the Father, beyond the Son, and beyond Abeloth, which was the Mother, the Shaman of the Wills were indeed the most powerful beings in all of Star Wars. No one knows exactly what the Shaman looks like, only that he and his collective are the keepers of the galaxy's events, like an almost narrator. Being compared to the Force itself by Lucas gives concrete evidence to establish that they were, in fact, the most powerful entity in the Star Wars galaxy, achieving the status of a god. I will add, however, that in Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, illustrated screenplay, and the art of Star Wars Episode 3, both have Qui-Gon Jinn stating that he knew of only one shaman who had achieved immortality. However, Qui-Gon also states in the Revenge of the Sith novelization that immortality is a possible end result for working with the Will's teachings. In the next episode of Star Wars Theory, we will discuss one of Yoda's missions that was more interesting than his others. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I wish you all a fantastic day or night.
Now, who is Shaman of the Wills? The Immortals from the Pleroma. He traveled to a planet that was literally called the Force. What was this planet? A plane of existence, the primordial realm, the Pleroma. You see what I'm saying? As the Gnostics call it, the Pleroma. This ancient realm, this ancient infinite God realm that has always existed since the beginning of time and is known as the mind of the all. Ku, or Pormandris, the invisible God or deity or force or intelligence behind the deities. You see what I'm saying? Behind all gods and immortals. And the Shaman of the Wills were the first manifestation out of its consciousness. You see what I'm saying? which are your primordial souls. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they represented. They represented those deities, those archetypal forces, those archetypal souls that have no beginning and no ending, which you have that divine spark, that rook, that cosmic energy inside of you, that source energy already living in you, which makes you a creator by default. You see what I'm saying? That's why they said in the law, ye are gods. Now you're starting to get the point here. See what I'm saying? So, with that being said, the only thing I want to talk about after that is another aspect of sustaining yourself, which is spiritual protection. You know, why do a lot of people die on this plane of existence? Because they have no spiritual protection. But how do they lose their spiritual protection? If all those begin with this pre-celestial chi, this source energy already inside of you, how do you lose it? Well, the answer to that is you fucked out of it by believing in this physical realm more so than your spiritual self, your true self. The propaganda of this world programs your subconscious mind into believing, because the subconscious mind don't know the difference unless you militarize it. It trains your subconscious mind into believing in this world versus believing in your spiritual self, your true self. You see what I'm saying? Your soul self, your eternal divine spark. So you lose the rights to your spiritual protection and eternal consciousness by believing in this first and putting your spirit and soul on the back burner. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to break your chains, your mental chains, and begin to rebuild your spiritual and soul self, which will eventually lead to eternal consciousness and force sustainment both here and in the afterlife. So there y'all go. That's how you fucked out of your spiritual protection. Now, if you conscious, the only way you can fuck yourself out of your spiritual protection is A, you make deals with these motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? You sign their contracts and you sign away your personal sovereignty to them to do fucked up shit like a lot of our conscious brethren and sisters have done without fucking really knowing what they really was doing. They felt like they was doing something wrong, but they didn't understand what they was doing wrong. So a lot of them got fucked up due to them signing their contracts and believing in this shit. And finally, you saying to yourself, oh, I'm done with my spirit. You see what I'm saying? I'm not spiritual. You know, a lot of motherfuckers are saying that. I watched in Bloodsport 2 not too long ago when the student was learning from the teacher. He was like, I'm not spiritual. And the teacher was like, don't say that, because to say that means you don't have a spirit. And if you don't have a spirit, then you dead on the inside. So, but you do have a spirit. So to say that, you're turning your back on your own spirit. That's basically what he was saying. You see what I'm saying? So what's up, Charles? What's up, Sha? So this was going on here. This was going on when we said your spiritual protection. You fuck yourself out of your spiritual protection by believing in this shit first and putting your spirit and soul on the back burner. You see what I'm saying? So what you gotta do is, once you reawaken, you gotta spend considerable amount of time rebuilding your internal self. You see what I'm saying? Bringing all those, it's just like a clock. You ever seen like the clock mechanisms in clock towers? Well, you gotta go in and activate this and activate that. And soon the gears start turning and it start moving. And then finally the whole system is up and running and moving at an accelerated rate. And now everything is online and working properly. You see what I'm saying? And working properly. Well, that's what's happening inside of you. You got to reactivate them gears, them internal forces, them internal energies inside of you. And then you got to remind them what they are, who they are, y'all been led astray like I've been led astray, because when they fuck your mind up, all your internal forces just become arid, which leads to sickness and dis-ease. You see what I'm saying? And we see the difference between a sick regular person and a sick conscious person. A sick conscious person can be sick and don't even experience the pain of being sick. You see what I'm saying? Because the force sustain them. But a regular person can be sick and still experience that pain of being sick, because they're subject to the chemical energies of the body. You see what I'm saying? And the chemical energies of the body and the body itself works for this dimensional realm. You see what I'm saying? This third dimensional matrix. So this is what you got going on. So yeah, you fuck yourself out of your spiritual protection. So don't think these motherfuckers are illusionary masters, and they will fuck you out of your spiritual protection the best way they know how. By getting you to say, usually it's these 5 things. Oh, it's not real. Oh, that's just your imagination. Oh, you not spiritual. Ain't no such thing as spiritual. I'm not spiritual, but I'm religious. You see what I'm saying? You see the play on words, the fuckery. It's 2 more that they usually say. To say when you say you spiritual, you go against God or some shit like that. This mystery guy, which is Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, the head archon. So don't believe in your spirit, believe in God's spirit. But you are God. You see what I'm saying? You are the generator, operator, and destroyer. You do those natural functions every day. You generate meals. You operate, you move around, you do shit. Yeah, just you doing shit is operation. You see what I'm saying? And you destroy shit. Don't you throw shit away? Don't you tear shit up? Don't you break shit? Ain't that destruction? So you do that shit every day. That's what God is. The natural functions of life. Generating, operating, destroying. So you do that every day. So yeah, they want you to believe in their God. Who they don't never tell you who the fuck this God is. Oh, it's Yahweh. Or it's Yahweh. Or it's Allah. What's some other names? Well, Buddha was a person, so we already know he did his thing. They just don't tell you the mysteries of Buddha. You see what I'm saying? And Buddhahood. You see what I'm saying? You gotta go find that out for yourself. Taoists believe in their own internal alchemy, so we ain't talking about them. But yeah, mainly these 3 main God religions who try to get you to believe in Yaldabaoth, and they went on a crusade around the planet, murdering, pillaging, and plundering, killing everybody off, getting them to believe in their bullshit. Yeah, that shit there. You see what I'm saying? Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. You don't need Christianity because you are the Christ, El Cristo Negro, El Cristo Negres, and the El Cristo Child. You don't need Judaism because what they main prophet is Moses. Hell, you Moses. Hell, the nigga just parted the Red Sea. Shit. Hell, you go outside and do way greater ones. He can part the sea, but you can go outside and part the sky if you wanted to. You see what I'm saying? He do all that shit that he did. So what makes him greater than you? He was just a prophet. See what I'm saying? So that ignorant ass shit that they be talking about. Then you got Allah. Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, torso. You know, they kind of take off a letter there to make it sound cool. But in actuality, Allah is just your physical body, which is a slave to this physical system. So they don't never reference your soul. Well, why we don't talk about the soul, the Ashu? You see what I'm saying? The Akkadian term, one of the Akkadian terms for soul, or the living sun. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we talking about. They want you to believe in that shit there, but you can't believe in your own spirit. But in the Bible, it said the kingdom of heaven is within. Ye are God. God is within. They keep telling you that shit over and over. All the prophets say that shit is inside of you. You see what I'm saying? In the book, what's up, Return to I? What's up, River Rising? So all that shit is inside of you. So, and they tell you once you go within and do the internal work, do your internal work, reactivate your chakras, get everything back online, have your Kundalini awakening, yada yada. Then shit, you back. You have a spiritual tent because now your frequency matches the frequency of nature, the universe, and your soul actually becomes the controller of nature and the universe. Because as the universe, as nature, so your soul. You see what I'm saying? Nature's just the first God. The universe is the second God. But the true God is inside of you, which is your soul. You see what I'm saying? Those are just the reminders, reflections. Like, all right, we start off with nature because that's all you got in the moment. Then after that, you get into the universe. All right, they go to sky, they go to stars and shit. You start to learn your astrology and your astronomy. All right, cool. Then once you surpass that shit, you start going within. All right, so all that shit out there in the universe and in nature is actually inside of me. See what I'm saying? The nature is the heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? Inside of you, that particular realm. Because your chakras are dimensions, are realms of existences as well. So the nature out there is just talking about the nature inside of you. You see what I'm saying? And then the universe out there is talking about this crown, this consciousness up here, this universal consciousness. And you actually have a universe in your third ventricle. You see what I'm saying? You have an all-seeing eye, and you have stars or a universe that's up there. And that all-seeing eye is projecting this realm outside of you. And when you pass on, you charge you breathe into your fucking when it's time for you to leave this motherfucker, I want to put this on record. When it's time for you to leave this motherfucker, breathe into your pineal gland and supercharge it. And you go into your own mind, your own universe. That's why it's important to build your own heaven inside of you while you're here. Because you return to one of those heavens that you create inside of you, and you become your own God in your own realm. You see what I'm saying? So that I just want to put that on record there. So if you die or you on your deathbed, I hope you have the consciousness or the wherewithal to remember this lesson here. Breathe into your, not just your pineal gland, but your knee one point, and breathe into it. And once you die, your consciousness actually absorbs into your pineal, your knee one point. You see what I'm saying? Your black dot, and through that portal you enter into your own God realm, your own personal God realm, your own personal mental interpretation of what you know as heaven. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important for you not to believe in their heaven. It's important for you to go in your meditations and build your own heaven, your own heavenly city or heavenly realm. The gates of heaven are inside you. The kingdom of heaven is inside you, right? The kingdom of God is inside you, right? So go in there and build your own shit. Build your own realms and your own universes. Fuck that universe. This shit here is just an example. It's just a guidebook to how to do it. You see what I'm saying? And once you learn the guidebook, then you go in there and do it yourself and create your own fucking heaven, universe, and planets, and natures, and animals, and fucking insects. You now know the game. You know you need insects, you need animals, you need plants, you need a solar system, you need all that shit. Those are just guidebooks here so that you can go in there and do it yourself. And build your own city, your own realm, your own universe, and your own species. Hell, you got the ability to create your own species from thought alone. You are the thought God. You see what I'm saying? The God of thought. You are the Tehuti. That's what Tehuti was saying. You are your own creator, and you can go within you and create your own realm at will. You see what I'm saying? Your own species. You can go create your own beings. You see what I'm saying? On your own planet. And they could and you become God of your own realm. See what I'm saying? They gonna worship you. You see what I'm saying? You gonna tell them, no, don't worship me, worship the God in you, because I installed soul in you. Yes, you can create soul too. You see what I'm saying? Because if you create beings and deities from thought, then you can incorporate soul inside of them, which is the ultimate thought. The ultimate intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So they all got souls inside them. So now they're a new divine group of beings, divine race that's inside of you that will eventually personify somewhere in existence. You see what I'm saying? And so now they're living on. Like, say, for example, I created a group of beings a few years back called the Ahmians, Ahmians. And these Ahmians, at first, we built the city. I built the city and created the beings, and they start operating or whatever. And every so often, I go back and check up on them. Shit, they doing what they do. Hell, they building. Shit, now they got access to starship traveling. They fucking traveling the cosmos that they built. You see what I'm saying? They built their own cosmos and universe to travel in. Well, it ain't even there. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't grow your own internal universe or innerverse. The beings inside that gonna take it. They gonna learn from you and take it upon themselves, and they're going to grow it out of your control. And so they're going to become self-sustaining beings. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. That's what true creators do. True creators let their creations create without their divine assistance. You see what I'm saying? Let them do it themselves so that they can become the creators like you became the creator. You see what I'm saying? You passing on the knowledge of creation, organization, and operation and destruction to them. You see what I'm saying? Or godly wisdom. So there y'all go. There y'all go. I just wanted to put that one out there for this fourth sustainment lecture. But with that being said, any questions? Any questions? That pretty much wrap this one up. Yep. So yeah, you conquer these generational curses by knowing that, just do the internal work, the shadow work as they call it. Just work through that shit. And eventually you're going to come out on the other side as a bad motherfucker. Trust me, I know. I've already been there and done it. So yeah, there y'all go. So any questions? What's up, Marge? What's up, everybody? But yep, we all have a holy mission down here to do the work and transmute this plane into something new. That's pretty much what it's all about at the end of the day. And that's one of the biggest reasons why the source and the force sustains you. Lisa Louise Myers, I'm always hurting. Why is this? Are you always hurting? Yeah, you must be a physical empath then. A lot of physical empaths hurt, have a lot of pain and suffering. But you got to get into your life force as well, because you're only hurting because you're only dealing with just your physical body. Well, if you start getting into some Qigong, some Tai Chi or something like that, you'll begin to resolve those issues once your life force begins to regenerate the atoms in your body. Yeah, so that's what you need to do, Lisa. Just take you up some Qigong. Check out Jake Mace on YouTube. He got some basic Qigong exercises. You know, just type in Jake Mace, basic Qigong exercises. And you just copy and mimic those abilities, you know, and practice, you know, generating that life force through your body, you know. Because you learn to generate that life force through your body, you pretty much doing what 85 to 95% of occult text is talking about when they talk about the living waters or waters of life or waters of noon or whatever. You're channeling those life waters through you, you know. You know what they said in the Harry Tubby movie, and she prayed that the waters of life will flow through her, and she was talking about the life force. You see what I'm saying? The force. You see what I'm saying? So there y'all go. So yeah. Star, great video as always. Thanks for bringing that fire. No problem. That's what we do. This is what we do. Any other question? What's up, Charles? What's up, John? But if y'all have no other questions, I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out. Share this with your friends. Check out my other occult lectures on the Melanaut Order. Y'all like to donate? Cashapp in the box, mcjnetwork. And I'm out. Peace.